Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It is March 8th, 2026. I woke up this morning and realized that I was already an hour late. I hope you're doing well and that the day is treating you kindly. So we got some stuff going on. There are some masculines out there that are offering their condolences to this curator who's been trafficking humans throughout the universe, and God doesn't want that to happen anymore. So they're offering him condolences. There were at least 2 masculines who did that. There's something going on. They disrespected somebody that they weren't supposed to. They hid somebody away. They separated them out from everybody, and then they used their trapped essence and gifts and energy and identity to desecrate people in the world, blaming her for it. It's crazy. They're in trouble. They are complaining that she has an attitude. Of course they do. They have been trafficking everybody. And this is a divine mother figure, an upper dimensional being who never did approve of that. And that's why they've been beating her up and trying to eliminate her soul value and memory and connections with Source. But God recognized her, resurrected her, and lifted her back up into this authority. And now these nasty jacks are complaining that she's abusing everyone. But here is the thing. She's been sanctified. She is connected with Source, Creator. She is a very sensitive, a very delicate, original, organic transmitter receiver of the upper dimensional spaces. The messaging that she receives are coming from Source, from God Himself, Mother, Father, Divine. So they say that she's abusing everybody, and that is not the case. God stated that every nasty thing that had been done to her while they kept her away, while they had her in prison, was going to be done to them. And it's not up to her. These judgments, she is the transmitter receiver. She sends planetary circumstance and situation to the upper divine, and the upper divine provides the solutions for the circumstance, and then it is received and implemented in the world. And this is just the way that divine beings, the true angels, operate with their source connection as representatives of the living, right? So these guys are real mad. They're blaming her for God's judgment moving through her and being manifested in the world, because they are egotistical, and they say she has no idea how powerful she is because they took her power and used it to traumatize people in the world, including herself. But this power is it's a flow, and it empowers and enlivens and invigorates and brings life to both the root and the crown and everything in between, stable, harmonized, tempered. The power doesn't belong to an individual in the middle ground. The power exists because of the connection, because of the tree itself and all life that comes from it, through it, that is transmuted by it. When you go sit next to a tree and you breathe out, you exhale your carbon monoxide or whatever, that tree breathes it in, and then it exhales oxygen. So it's a pure symbiotic, beautiful relationship, right? And that's the way it's supposed to be. These guys have been in the middle ground as bark beetles, chewing all the bark off those trees, disconnecting the crowns from the roots. But they are, these connections are being reestablished, it appears, in the world. And this curator who's been trafficking everybody, it appears to me, not only has to get off the planet, but out of the universe, because they've been broadcasting and prostituting the purity, desecrating it throughout the entire universe. Having a great time. So these pirates who've been enjoying this kind of a thing are giving this curator their condolences. They got to move on. They got to get on down the road. They got to get on down the road, because it's time for the divine mothers to come into their status of luxury. It's time for them to come into their darn look, because this they're supposed to be here with divine masculine, creating, you know, and then creating, and then detecting and then alerting the foundation keeper to the serious threat of the pimp, the person that likes to come in and just tap and tag all of the beings here, because it's an entity that looks the same, but it's not. They call him the rosy boyfriend, which is a rosier, I guess, and that would be a demon lover, a fallen angel. They hypersexualize everything. They love bomb everything, and then they strip the happiness out of their encounter. Law of cause and effect is here in order for that. Justice will be happening very quickly. Yeah, you're coming into your reward, and these guys are in a freaking nightmare over your freaking life of luxury that you have earned by carrying this burden. It's the end of your burden, and now they're having to carry it. And it's going to undo them, because they're no longer connected to the essence of the sun. They can no longer harvest or feed on the light-bearing men, women, and children that are connected to the life potency of the actual sun. So, I don't know if you know, but the sun is actually a portal. The big one. So in the central energy, we have judgment. Judgment is being called here. And there's at least 2 masculines that are offering condolences to this curator. Whoever this person is, it sounds like a younger masculine. It appears as though it's a younger masculine. It could be a female presenting as such. But it's an ancient being that's been feeding on the souls of people and the animals. They are psycho, and they believe they own all of the energy, all of the merchandise of the earth angels. This is a fallen angel, potentially AI augmented. In the central energy, we got judgment, and in the challenge position, we got the Knight of Cups. There's judgment being called on these charming proposals and what they did with it once they achieved it. We got charity here. There's judgment on what they did to you, the charity that they received from you. They made a love offer. You gave them what you had, and we're going to get more clarification. Ooh. Well, the star came out in the reverse. They're being cut off from your light, from your energy. God said this is the end of their relationship with batteries. They can no longer siphon you. They're in despair. Yeah, they can no longer siphon from you because they were committing fraud. They were sticking knives in you. They were tricking, smiling in your face, pretending to be your friend while slipping drugs into your drink and stuff. Bullies, thieves. There's a disconnection because they are bullies and thieves. Intentions and expectations. Rest. You're laying it to rest. You're resting and recuperating. Somebody mentioned that they wished these stories weren't 1 to 2 hours long. I'm gonna try to get them a little shorter so that it doesn't waste your time or keep you tied up too long. We got the Page of Swords here. Maybe trying to find a new way of communicating. Getting some new ideas. The lens is being looked through. Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. Emotionally stable, full of love, wanting to heal, wanting to nurture, having compassion for those who deserve compassion. No longer wasting your energy on the bullies. The Two of Cups. So in the environment, there is a proposal and a marriage connection coming in, it looks like. Hopes and fears. Oh. persevering. Got the 7 of Pentacles. Persevering. You could be persevering through whatever magic this is. You could be investing in some kind of, and manifesting some kind of sustainable result. The outgoing energy. Oh, somebody's in a nightmare. Somebody's in a nightmare. Somebody's in despair. They're in despair. They're in despair over the truth about these illusions that they caused. There's a celebration here because you're maintaining control, and that's causing a tower for the bully and a painful ending, a complete disconnect from the sun. They're losing the light of the sun. Look, you've got control of the foundation, Emperor. And you got the guard up. Thou shalt not enter, because you're having a new beginning. And it's hidden. It's hidden. It could be that some people are afraid because they're being let go. They're being released. They're being released off the planet. They're being released out of the universe. I don't know where they're going to go. What planetary system. It seems to me they have to get completely out of this universe because they had been broadcasting videos and whatnot of the lifetime story of Earth Woman that they had hypnotized, done magic on. They had brutalized and tortured their communication system so bad they forgot who they were and what they were capable of, and people even loved them. Many of us came from families that had adoptions in them, so we may not even, we've been disconnected from the entirety of our history, but God found us, resurrected us, and brought us back online, and there it is. With God, all things are possible, and that is true. You can withstand so many things if you just look for the seeds that he planted within me and you, right? So the Queen of Wands is very strong here and very passionate about this new beginning, about these potentials, about these new opportunities. And it's coming in because you were able to maintain yourself. You were able to maintain yourself to create balance even while you were restricted. So you're leaving that baggage behind and just moving on. Moving on down the road, be a little happy soul. Be a little happy soul, a little happy soul. Apparently there's her. So they're talking about her like a main character, and I don't know if this is the Divine Feminine or the copycat of the Divine Feminine. But apparently God has transferred their soul, called the Judgment, and transferred their soul. And these nasties are complaining that he's transferring everybody. And I think they're just being transferred out into wherever their next timeline is. And of course that comes with an ending, right? And I don't know if it's coming in that, probably will manifest in the 3D, but I don't know that a lot of these people are actually in the 3D. I think they're running around in the 4D, but I don't know much about dimensions and timelines and all of that. I only know what I'm picking up on, and that's it. So there's judgment here. Judgment. The tea is cold. There's judgment. No more drama. No more freaking drama. The tea is cold. All this crap is old, man. It is so old. We're not going to sit at the table and drink it anymore. We're over it. The past has expired. We're walking away from the table. Entering a new phase. There is a Knight of Cups here in the challenge position. You don't want any more drama. It's like, dude, if I got to cut you entirely out of my freaking life and walk away from the table that you're serving cold tea at, man, I'll do it. Absolutely over it. I got my own tea, and today it's coffee. So, Knight of Cups is here. Prince Charming. Mr. Challenge. What's going on for Mr. Challenge? We've got this, came out in the reverse. It says, truth hurts, reality check, wake up call, and clear eyes. So we've got somebody still making a proposal. They're not taking the hint. They're not getting the message. They're not getting the message. They are ignoring the truth, and they're coming in to make a proposal because they see here that you have this charity, this 6 of Pentacles. that you are generous, that you share, that it was you who is making their life worthy, and you have walked away from the freaking table. You've called the judgment and walked away from the table. But you've got this Knight of Cups who's ignoring the truth. They want to get back into your energy for this charity. Rehearsing the past, mental scripts, guilt, self-blame. You were the one supplying them with charity, and now they're looking at the way that they treated you. You have walked away from the table. You're like, I'm no longer going to serve you, man. Go. You didn't want a connection. You didn't want a commitment. You wanted to be mean and cruel. You can go. They're disconnected from this star. They're in despair. They're disconnected because of the fighting, the conflict, the abuse, the theft, the sneakiness. They burned the freaking bridge. They burned the bridge, man. They got disconnected from the stars. They got disconnected from the suns. They got disconnected from your light, the light of life itself. They got disconnected. They burned the bridge. This is the final goodbye. It is unrepairable, no way back. They severed the bridges of many stars and suns, and then they gobbled up their essence, their soul, and pretended that they were them, committing havoc, making war with the upper dimensional spaces. This is over. They have burned the bridge. They will never mend the bridge. Your bridge was mended. And you know, it's sad because they had been trying, as far as I can tell, to find the purity, the pure essence that could bridge the gap, right? And apparently nearly a couple years ago, we got lucky and somebody was able to bridge the gap between root and crown, and then bring those families together, the lion and the jaguar, and then bring it together. So the tribe of Lyra and this tribe of jaguar, I believe it's the Egyptians, are together now, and they are handling it, right? You got those who recycle and those who bless, and it's all a blessing. So they burned a bridge. They will never be able to mend that bridge again. They will never, ever. You are recuperating after being gaslit, manipulated. The truth was twisted. They caused you to doubt yourself, and they caused others to doubt you as well. They played with your mind. So you're experiencing a renewal here. You're healing. You're in a healing environment. You got the Page of Swords, trying to figure out how to communicate. What's going on? What's the truth? They're curious about it. Woke up different. The energy has shifted. They're done tolerating crap. They're exhibiting some kind of silent strength. They want to, or maybe they're figuring out, they got to figure out another way of communicating with you, because you're done dealing with the crap. You're just done dealing with the, what do they call that? The sideshow dance. There's another phrase I'm thinking of. Your energy shifted. So now they're like, oh no, they're having restless mental energy. They're like, how am I going to get back into this? They need you in this space. They need you clinging to them. They need you to rely upon them to get your shit together. And that's just not, you're getting your shit together. You woke up different. You're like, you know what? I'm just done. I'm done tolerating this bullshit. I'm done tolerating this drama. I'm done tolerating these people who freaking gaslighted me. They burned the bridge. It's the final goodbye, man. Queen of Cups is here. The lenses. You always came back. Always came back. They always left you hanging there. False hope. Door left open. Familiar pain. That's all they've been giving you. The love they've been giving you, they've been coming in and gaslighting you, and then leaving you hanging again with that familiar pain of rejection, of this disloyal connection, of this blatant disrespect by not treating your sacred essence as the supreme value. You got eternal life in your womb, and they come in and tap and tag it, and then they pull off it. All your happiness, all of your stability, and then they go around pretending that they're freaking Mr. Schwankster, They gave you false hope. You're emotionally stable. Even with this stupid jerk doing that. You got the Two of Cups here. There could be a marriage connection coming in. It should have been done. Dragging on, already over, and denial. Two of Cups should have been done. It's dragging on. They should have married you a long time ago. You've been working real hard to manifest something. You've been working real hard with this magician. It wasn't love. It was control, possession, power play, and ego. They were using you to manifest their own shit. And they always left you hanging. As soon as they came in and used you, they took off. It was never love. It was about them tapping into your womb of power and using that energy to support their magic. We got a nightmare here. Somebody's having a nightmare. Used, then discarded, thrown away, devalued, emotional trash. They were just using the womb of power. They were just tapping into that energy and using it to fuel their magic. They were desecrating everybody and everything, using them as prostitutes. Never really over. There's lingering energy with this soul tie, and there's no closure. Somebody may be obsessed. There's a binding here. This magician, oops, has bound somebody and is using them for their own power play. It isn't a joint effort. It's this magician coming in. He's very mean. Used, then discarded. Toxic ties. And you gave them your all. But they didn't choose you. They rejected you. They never really loved you. They could be leaving you there as confused as hell with this stupid love bombing crap. And you might be wondering, what if? Deciding to protect your energy. What if? You might be overanalyzing the past, and you might be deciding to protect your own energy. Yeah. Somebody's making a shift. They're moving away from this magician. They're realizing that this magician was only using them, that it was never love. It was just lust and a tap and tag and a draining of this womb of power, and using that power to fuel their own nasty intention. And they just flowed that nasty intention through this person. And so now they got to transmute it if they can. So there's judgment being called here. No more freaking drama. The tea is freaking cold. We're over it, man. Freaking over it. The past has expired. Shocking news. Shocking news. You're walking away. You're done. So this person who's wearing fancy threads, sitting there comfortable, has a nice life, you are done. You're like, I'm done. I'm not a third party hoe bag. I'm done supporting you people. And you've got this Knight of Cups here wanting to come in to make a proposal. They are ignoring the truth. They're ignoring it. The truth hurts, and they're like, look, I'm not paying attention to the truth. He does not want to pay attention to the truth. He's not taking a reality check. He has not taken the reality wake-up call. He cannot see through clear eyes. So he's coming in. He might be trying to make a proposal to somebody who doesn't see clearly. We got blocked. Somebody who hasn't blocked him. Somebody's there trying to tap into somebody who's not able to see clearly. Charity. 6 of Pentacles. Rehearsing the past. Mental scripts. Guilt. Self-blame. The truth doesn't hurt. The truth doesn't hurt you. Knight of Cups coming in. The truth does not hurt you. You're not blocked. They're challenged because you're not blocked. They're challenged because you got up from the table. You're letting the past go. And they're repeating the past. They're running it through their mind. They're shocking news. You got up and walked away after all these thousands of years of abuse. Mr. Selfish, arrogant, I want it my way. They come in, they lay with you, and they tap that, and then look. They cannot, look, the separation, secluded. They can't get away from it. Mr. Arrogant, you're no longer alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. They're disconnected from your light, from the star. 5 of Swords, bully, thief. They burned the bridge. This is the final freaking goodbye. It's irreparable. It's too late. They're actually going to the police station. They burned the bridge. Whoever these people are that have been going into these upper dimensional spaces, wearing the energy and the essence, the soul essence of others, stealing other people's identities through their soul energetic signature. It's too late. They're getting arrested for playing in these upper dimensional spaces, for consuming the life that has been there, for sacrificing it and replacing it with lookalikes or copycats, and then making war, consuming the wealth out of these upper dimensional spaces that they should never have been in. We've got the 4 of Swords here. So you are recuperating from being gaslit, from being manipulated, from people twisting the truth about you. You're done with it. You're laying it to rest. It could be that those who have been gaslighting others are being laid to rest. Yeah, because they gaslighted the Queen Bee. They twisted the truth about this Queen Bee. And it's too late to make amends. We've got the Page of Swords with restless mental energy. You woke up different. The page may have worked up different. You're done tolerating it. This Page of Swords is recognizing the truth. You're done tolerating it. You woke up different. You're no longer sitting here thinking, oh, woe is me. I need that to support me, to make me feel better. No, you woke up different. And you're like, you know what? I'm worthy of more than this stupidity. And you're going to give it to yourself. With Source Connection, you will receive. You've got silent strength. And they don't know how to... really associate with silent strength because all they can do really is bang, 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 brutalize it, get it down, and then they can deal with it, right? But when you're silently strong and you just done, you woke up different. You are done tolerating this shady shit. But you got a Page of Swords here who's got restless mental energy, who is trying to figure out a new way of communicating with you because your energy shifted. You're done tolerating bullshit. The Queen of Cups, in the past, the lens is being looked through. Your love, they always left you freaking hanging, and they always came back. Whenever they felt your energy moving away from them, they would always come back in and then connect and then leave you with that familiar pain, that betrayal, that, okay, thanks. They reconnected, they re-upped and refortified their connection with your womb of power so that they can continue pulling off your energy to finance their magical illusions. They need your energy to be a successful magician. And they backstab you. They always come back to backstab you. You're a very loving, beautiful person. You share your intimate, sacred essence with somebody who doesn't give a shit. They're just playing magic tricks and betraying, being deceptive. So we got the Two of Cups here, and it's like, it should have been done. It's dragging on. It's already freaking over. Somebody is being denied marriage connections. They took this person and they separated them out from everybody. Like nobody even knew that they were available for connection. It's been decades that these people have been gaslighting and freaking pulling off the womb of this queen bee with their stupid bullshit. Arrogant, selfish pieces of shit. This marriage should have happened a long freaking time ago, and now they're effed up over you. You've done a lot of work. They could be effed up over this magician because it wasn't love. It was control. It was a power play, and they were using her womb, and they never freaking loved her. They just were effing. And whenever the energy got too distant or too far away, they would come back in and tap back into it. It wasn't love. They were just tapping into the power. This magician had the bind around this effing twin flame. It could be that your twin flame freaking kept you as a slave and used your energy, your sexual energy, to freaking fuel his stupid magic. So now they're in a Nine of Swords. We got trauma and despair, used and then discarded, thrown away, devalued, emotional trash. You know, I love you. Thrown away by somebody who made a proposal. There's a nightmare here. You are free. You prayed for freedom, and you are free of those who are mirroring you. You survived, and you're identifiable. These people are being rejected, or you are being permitted to reject another round and round and round. It's like you're being extracted from this realm. They cannot trap you. They cannot keep you. They cannot harvest your essence or your gifts or your power or your womb in order to fuel their ensnarement traps, their harvest situation. They miss you because they don't have any credit. They have no value. They don't have any merit. They have to tap the womb in order to have any credit. The true colors are seen. Those spiritual gifts were always yours, and now they're in a whole firestorm of karma. They could be losing their mind, having a mental breakdown. Divine Masculine might be dealing with this toxic lifestyle and how they've been offering romance and all this shit. Now, Divine Masculine, there's some bad news here for those karmic ties who'd been tapping into those with true spiritual gifts and then pretending they're going through an ego death. Downward spiral for the Jezebel, the GPS, because you have illuminated the truth about this jackass. Hot and cold, coming in, tapping and tagging, getting re-upping that supply, and then walking away. This is the end of that. It's going into the funeral. There's a lot of people. You've learned your karmic lessons. You are the beloved son or daughter of the Most High Father. You've learned your karmic lessons of this love-hate thing. These rosy boyfriends. So God is in his feelings. He is fed up with this shit. These masculines portraying themselves as made in the image of, while permitting this atrocity to the women and the children, and then the gender altering of the masculines. It's so bad. Their whole family was sleeping with people at work, doing love spells on people, and then having reckless sex after this sweet talk affair. They were tapping into people's sacred essence and using that energy to fuel their magic. They're looking at the history of the messages that they were getting. And this psycho doesn't want to let go of your consciousness. They don't want to let go over the meeting house of your room. This is the field that got them into the upper dimensional spaces, and they are desperate to sacrifice it and repossess it. The Divine Mother stated that they will not be obtaining you, and neither will they survive. It's crap. So they're ashamed and embarrassed because they were happily single, just effing around, being a jezzy, having a great time. And there's secrets here, no strings. It was a secret affair. No strings. They were married, but they were constantly sleeping with other people. And now they're feeling like shit because they're not divine. They're not a member of God's family. It's obvious. They're just, look, and we're closing this cycle of them consuming the apple. It could be that they're trapped, or we're closing this cycle over the apple being trapped. They're losing sleep. They've lost you. Drinking to cope. There's legal matters. They're not happy. They've been, side hustling your energy in order to have an easy life, man. The thug might be sending out messages, love messages to divine feminine, but she's turning her back on them. And these guys are spying on you from secret accounts, and they're heartbroken over it, but you're saying goodbye because they left you hanging. It's like, trickster, you didn't want anything to do with this anyway. Goodbye. Just leave, man. Because you're married. You got a spiritual spouse, or they ran from marriage. They didn't want to have anything to do with you. And now they are having massive regrets. So they're like, why didn't I marry that person who loved herself? Who's the wish granter, the wish giver, who is receiving her wish? These guys are under pressure. And time is running out. Living in the moment. Time is running out for those who were living in the moment, doing nothing to earn their easy street life except hurt you. And it's over now. They can't do that anymore. It's 36 minutes. I got 2 more decks here. I'm just going to try to do it real fast. I'm going to try to shorten up these videos because I'd like to make it a little more convenient for you. And my apologies, I get wrapped up in this storyline so frequently that I like to just keep it going, So anyway, we got judgment here. The tea is cold. Shocking news to the third-party enemies. Shocking news to the third-party enemies. This mistress, whoever this entity is that has been siphoning, like this magician comes in and sleeps with you and siphons from your womb, and then they take that energy and they take it back to their mistress, their third party. But you're calling judgment on that. You're like, you know what? You're not going to tap my freaking energy and then take it back to your girlfriend or your wife or whatever the F, man. Stay away, freaking bastard. It's like, we're not third party whores. What the fuck? It's so ridiculous that they would treat us like that when we're sacred divine beings. It's stupid. So we got Knight of Cups in the challenge position. We got Knight of Cups wanting to make a love offer. We got the truth hurts in the reverse. The truth, you're not hurt by the truth. We got somebody that's not blocked. They're ignoring reality. They're having challenges finding somebody that does not know the truth. They're finding challenges finding somebody who does not know the truth. They're having challenges finding somebody who is not aware of this scheme. And they're having challenges tapping into that. You woke up different. You're done tolerating this crap. Being treated like somebody just comes in. They just come in and reconnect and reestablish the connection, and then they're gone. There's no love there. They don't feel anything. Torment. They're trying to find somebody who does not know the truth and who has not blocked them due to this. They don't want you to, they're trying to find somebody who doesn't know about this bondage, about this torment. Somebody who hasn't been hurt by the truth. They might be tormented. They might be in bondage. They might be very troubled. 6 of Pentacles, you got charity here. You're sharing your generosity. They're rehearsing the past. This stubborn, arrogant jackwagon who decided it needed to be their way, they have been cut off from your charity. So now they're thinking about what happened. They might be blaming themselves. They might be thinking they're guilty. But they don't want to be separated from you. They want to figure out how can they undo it. They're challenged because they had bound you. They're tormented. They're challenged finding somebody who doesn't know about it. Drinks. They could be drinking. They want to find somebody who's open to having a drink. Somebody who will allow them into their energy. They don't want a separation. They want you to allow them into your energy again. We've got the Star in the reverse. They've been disconnected from you. This is a thief, a bully who burnt the bridge. This is the final freaking goodbye. It's been thousands of years and there's no way back. They're being arrested. It's too late. It's too late. What they did was heinous. What they did, it's too late. What they did to the roses is heinous. It's too late for them to tap into another rose. They are balancing the scales. Law is in order. Justice is being served for what they did to this queen bee. For tapping into this queen bee. For gaslighting them. For manipulating them and their energy. For tormenting them. Keeping them in bondage. Fouling their reputation and their energy. And we've got silence. Those who are addicted to the queen bee are being silenced. These nasties have been complaining about the silencer. They're losing their clairs. They're losing their third eye sight. They won't have anybody to support them in these next challenges they will be facing. It will be difficult. Page of Swords is looking for a new way to communicate because you woke up different and you're done tolerating this bullshit of this shady mask-wearing liar. This magician who just wants to tap in and F you and re-up the supply. There's no more opportunity. You're done with this shady mask-wearing jackwagon. No more people in the bedroom. Queen of Cups is here. You know, she's done with this false freaking hope. They've always been delivering false hope. Backstabbing, mind games, tapping into your most sacred essence and then downloading the trauma or the drama of every other sexual partner that they have into your womb while extracting your temperance energy, leaving you there to bring balance to it once more. While you are effed up in the head because that's what they've put into your waters. They've hardened the waters by doing this reckless sex and then downloading every karmic attachment that they have stored within their body. Rest. You're getting a new beginning, Queen of Cups. They always delivered you false hope by playing mind games and cheating, and now it's time for you to rest. You're getting a new beginning. The Two of Cups, so this marriage should have happened a long time ago. We're already over it, you know, and those people who are messing with you could be effed up in the head. This Jezebel there getting shocking news, you walked away. The past has expired. They can no longer pull off of your womb and live a fancy life. Get their freaking nails done every freaking 2 weeks on your soul value. Unfinished business with the back and forth. They're effed up over you. Their mind is now, because you know what? These people sacrificed divine feminine over and over again into the shadow space with this mental effery, and now it's all going back on them. They're getting kicked out of this upper space. They never belonged there, man. It should have been done a long time ago. They were supposed to marry you, but instead they were just tapping into your womb and your energy and giving that energy to this piece of shit who you have now walked away from because you know that this piece of shit is just a whore feeding on your fucking womb. This is just a bitch feeding on your womb, man. And it's like, this tea is cold. Get that bitch out of my energy. God damn, son of a... I'm sorry for my language, you guys. This is so sick. It is so sick. It's so foul. And I don't even know why they have existed so long with this nastiness. I do know because they've been tapping into the rose's womb of power. And they've been masquerading as the rose. These rosy boyfriends have been masquerading as the rose in the upper dimensional Star Nation soul tribe that she comes from. And this Jezebel that's been wearing your energy and pretending to be you is now going to deal with all of the mental insanity that they forced you to live in. It's their turn to go deal with it. And you know what's sad? Is that this magician still hasn't married them. It should have happened a long time ago, and it didn't happen, and it won't happen. Because all they were doing was using them. It wasn't love, it was control of a twin flame. This could be a beautiful divine feminine who went to work for the nasty magician who's been polluting the sacred essence of divine beings forever, desecrating them, She took part in it. The snake. The lies. They were going to the snake and they were sacrificing you and the divine beings, and then they were leaving you hanging in the dark in sadness while they took their girlfriend up into the upper spaces wearing your prize. Tea is cold, Nasty Jack. Tea is freaking cold. And it was forbidden. It was forbidden for these false flames to come in and siphon the essence and the gifts out of true divine beings and then lay it on a freaking Jezebel. So she can sit up there and say how fucking good she is. Snotty, hoity-toity. So they're in a nightmare. Nine of Swords nightmare. They were used and discarded. They could be in a nightmare because they used and discarded you. Because of how many people they used and discarded by saying, I love you. They're causing somebody a nightmare. Trauma. You're going to be reconciled. You are reconciled. You were used and discarded, thrown away. There could be an I love you. There could be a proposal coming in. You could be reconciled with whoever it is that these people have been in they've been in the upper dimensional space. They've been wearing your energy in your face. This bitch has been wearing your energy in your face, and you're like, you know what, I'm up from the table now. I'm not gonna allow you to tap me anymore. And this little fraud is like, oh no, what the hell do I do? Well, guess what? She's a traitor. According to the messaging last night, she's a traitor. She went for work to the other side. This is a divine, well, it's not a divine being. They had been siphoning the essence out of divine beings, and they've been holding them back, stealing their initiation rewards at the crossroads. This bitch is a traitor. They have discovered it, and they're transferring her out, and they're transferring everybody out who she's been working with. She's going to be confessing whoever her network is in this space. Absolutely, she will be dropping names. She will be dropping names. And now there's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on here. Because of what they were doing. Broadcasting this shit. This nasty bitch. Oh, she's going to have some trouble. She's going to have some trouble. You investigated how people were making their money. Why is it that they have this when they are obviously, they don't work. They don't produce. They just walk around like they're a freaking, well-off, a freaking deserving human being who never did shit except harm others. You've got this, there could be a forgotten person who is committed to you, or maybe you were committed to a false person, and now you're getting your miracle, and there's a cool down here. There's divine intervention. You have been reconnected to source. Your soul has come back online. You have transformed in the shadows, and now you're turning the light out. The sun is going down. They're being disconnected from the star. You have revealed the truth about these soul harvesting thieves. This clown really misses you. This mirror. They really miss you. Of course they do. It was your energy. And now they're in eternal regret. They may try to encounter you. They may try to come up, and they may want to deliver their eternal regret onto you. You are protected here, though, by your animal friends in this mystery. There could be a mystery, some kind of communication that is a mystery to these people that they don't understand. You're protected. And it could be that those animals that they have been sacrificing are protecting you. Look, man. The apple never gave up hope. You have the hope of a mustard seed, is what Spirit stated. I mean, it may look very grim, but you never gave up hope. You remained firm, and you stayed vocal, singing your song, announcing yourself. These nasties have been calling you, saying that you are advertising yourself, but all you're really doing is allowing everybody to hear you. And that means not only your enemies, but your friends and family as well. So the apple never gave up hope. She remained firm. She's singing her song. And you could be, please do what you need to do with the genders, all right? You took a leap of faith. You are the key, or you found the key. You've been promoted and leveled up. The divine may see you as a key to this scenario of why the crown was hidden and single. Why did they segregate you and keep you away from everybody? Well, it's because you knew what was going on. And they wanted to continue in their harvesting and their little stupid shit. The history of the uninvited guest is running away. They're running away because you have talent that they were not able to tap because they're just a needless feeder. You are being remembered. You remember everything. And there is a separation with those who treated this beautiful queen bee like trash. Those people who had been prostituting these beautiful, sacred, divine beings like trash in the freaking sacred space. They're being let go. They have to surrender. They're being released. They're being cut off from your light, from the sun, from the star. They will not be tapping, tagging, or sacrificing anybody from God's family ever again. There's still some cloaked enemies in the territory. Like, a lot of them have left, but the curators still, they're out there on the outskirts. I don't know where they are. They have been transferred somewhere, but they still have the consciousness connection. They're not willing to forfeit the connection they have to the consciousness, which is also connected to those upper divine spaces. They're using it as a bridge and a connector to the upper divine realms, and they're supposed to forfeit this connection, and this curator refuses to do it. They're still out there strategizing on how they can get back in and trap this rose once again and assume the queen bee's identity and position with a mask wearing shady freaking Jezebel. They want to come in and marry into the clan again. But this queen bee is like, God is like tormenting these people. They say it's her. They say that it's her doing it. It's like, oh no, this is her heavenly father moving through her. He said that she had been too forgiving and that these assholes had betrayed her from the very beginning, man. The very get-go, the very beginning. She had said, no, I don't want those people here. They're going to prostitute everybody. And they let them in anyway, and then they got cornholio buddied. And I'm not meaning any disrespect to the two-spirited people who are actually, having their own experience. I'm talking about these dominator, third-party enemy rapists who have been gender-altering and hurting people. Nasty, nasty jacks. So I'll try to change my language because I don't want to be disrespectful to the people who I actually care about. So, but there is a lot of over it. Death, coffin. The bad news is they couldn't put you in a coffin. You got up from the table and you left. You're still very much alive. The shocking news is you are still very much alive. You walked away. Prince Charming is out here. The challenge is you aren't blocked. They may be ignoring the truth. You're not hurt. They're tormented. They're being bound. Expectation, waiting, and hope. They're expecting to be bound for what they did to you because you're still alive. You're not in a coffin. Six of Pentacles here. You were giving them charity. You were supporting their lives, making it okay. But you got this arrogant, selfish bastard who's rehearsing the past, what he said to you, how he treated you, how he hurt you, how he betrayed you. They're drinking to cope. They don't want to be separated. They're drinking to cope with the fact that they could not separate you. You're not in a coffin. You're not in a coffin. And it's a sad news, message of concern. You're not in the coffin. They could not separate you. You could not separate you. You just got up from the table and walked away. The past is expired. Goodbye. Now they're drinking to cope. Oh no, this is a message of concern. You're not in the freaking coffin. They couldn't separate you. You're no longer secluded. You're supported. And they're getting cut off from your light. They're getting disconnected from the star for being a thieving bully, an abuser. They've burnt the bridge. This is the final goodbye. It's irreparable. No way back. They're being arrested and it's too late. Because of what they did to the rose, Law and order is being here. We've got rumors, verbal abuse, lies, slander, judgment, psychological projection. They are in the court and they are being convicted and judged on how they've been effing over everybody's freaking minds and lives, projecting their own filthy mess onto people and forcing them to transmute the sin of their existence. And they've been calling this queen bee nothing, a prostitute. They gaslighted her. They are addicted to her, and now they are going silent. They had caused her to go silent. They wanted her in silence. They wanted her to have this toxic attachment. They wanted her to pay the cost, to carry the blame and the shame of their addictions, their alcoholism, their blood rituals, their sacrifices, their freaking mental insanity that they've been projecting onto everybody. They wanted this queen bee to be covered in the blame and the shame of that. She's not in the coffin, and it's a message of concern. They're saying that she is, what did they say? They're claiming that she's abusing everybody, but that's not. That's God delivering karmic return. He said that everything that was done to her will be done to them. God is with her, moving through her, flowing into her. She's a delicate transmitter receiver of the upper dimensional divine, and God has claimed her. And these people are receiving what God is moving through her. And there's a lot of queen bees out there who have been reconnected, and every nasty thing that was done in their life is now being transferred to these people. And then these people are being transferred out somewhere. I don't know where they're going, but I think they got to get clean off the universe, or they're going to go to some slave colony, just like they were transferring the queen bee and other people too, using them sexually deviantly to serve all these universal freaking harvesters or whatever. So the queen bee is going to receive a gift. So she is not going to receive what they have sown for her. They gaslighted her, and they did a bunch of shit in her energy. She's making a wish, and she's manifest her dreams to reality. She's going to receive a gift. These ones treated her very, very bad. They kept her silent. They cut her off. They didn't want anybody to receive her messaging, her knowing. They didn't want anybody to be supported by her her intellectual properties and her connections with Source Creator, the highest divine. This is a soprano being. This is a freaking royal queen, man. Royal queen energy. We got a Page of Swords here. He's trying to figure out new ways of communicating because you woke up differently. The energy has shifted, and you're done tolerating this shady mask wear in the bedroom. No more opportunity. No, gonna protect the essence because you've got the womb of power, and you're done disrespecting yourself. You might realize what it is that they've been tapping into and why they've been wanting to do it so proliferatingly, right? So, you've got great fortune. You've got big luck. It's what you are. You've got the womb of power, the womb of eternal life. It's the force that you carry, the force that Creator of all that is granted you. And you got these rosy boyfriends that have been trying to strip you of your value and claim it. And it's so freaking weird. We got love spells that aren't working anymore. No potions, rituals, attraction, self-love, romance. No love spells is going to work on you. You've got great fortune coming in. Big luck. Adjust the posture, alignment, balance chakras, breathe, energy flow. So the love spells aren't working on you. You are managing your system. Whatever magic they try to push in on you, you are in flow and transmuting it. You are the golden nugget. Your energy flow, your womb of power is the golden nugget. And these guys, these shady mask wearers, oh, I love you, honey, love spell, love spell. You're like, you know what? I've just woke up to the fact that there's so much more here than a stupid sexual activity that leaves me hanging. They want to dump their karmic connections, all that nasty freaking shit, into the womb of a pure being. They want to extract your gold by doing that. And it's like, not this time, man. No love spells, no shit, that ain't gonna work. I think God's canceling all these love spells. If they do love spells, I think that's gonna have the opposite effect. Like, I think it's gonna repulse you. It's gonna make you sick. Queen of Cups was always getting this false hope. It was familiar pain by mind gaming, love bombing deceivers. You're getting a new beginning. That's pausing. You're done with that. We've got tea time, mindfulness, calm, mind and body in harmony, focused meditation. You're taking care of yourself, and you're having an energy shift. You're having an energy shift because you're no longer allowing this nasty jack to download or offload their multiple sexual partners into your energy. You're no longer having to process that dense karmic nastiness that all of these various lovers have been dumping into this magician. He's been collecting, and he's like, okay, I gathered all this energy. Now I got to go dump it into a divine woman so that she can take care of the nastiness of it, right? So that he can then say, oh, I'm clean, I'm pure, whatever the hell, right? You've got an energy shift because you're like, hey, you're not going to tap into me no more, man. I'm done processing the karmic debt for you and your nasty freaking girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever. We've got two bodies, one soul, pure love, and it's in the reverse. You know, this isn't two bodies, one soul. This is a freaking Casanova wearing a mask, going out here, sleeping with everybody, trying to gain a fortune by tapping into the soul value of others. They're concerned, having restless mental energy. They're like, oh no, how am I going to tap into this? Because you're done. You're done. You're bringing your chakras into alignment. You've got your rainbow freaking covenant online. Your soul is online. You're seen as a great big golden fortune. Two of Cups, this partnership and marriage connection should have happened a long time ago, but they were effing with your mind. So those snakes that have been over and back playing in your energy, they were not able to unalive you this time. It's not over. The lies are seen, and they've got karmic bonds, unresolved issues from past lives. And they mentioned this the other day. They mentioned past life, and they mentioned the President of the United States, and they mentioned you have no idea what's coming for you, and I just don't know what that means. Apparently some stuff's going to happen. You learned your lessons from the past life scenarios of this unstable relationship. These karmic people have to deal with their own karmic bonds. This snake, unresolved issues from the past. They've been going over and back, sacrificing people in this space and then going over into the astral space, into the 4D, 5D or whatever, and presenting themselves as this glorious success story. So you've been working real hard, and you have persevered through this magician possessing you and using you to make power plays. You're the twin flame, and it was forbidden for this person to use the power of the twin flames in this way. Financial growth, cash windfall, investments, assets, inheritance, good fortune, money comes to me. It was taboo for them to steal the wealth out of these twin flames. They were here with a specific purpose, and you got this nasty jack, this curator, and all of his siphoning little pimps out there who did not want the God's family to succeed, and now they're going to get effed up. They're going to get effed up so freaking bad. They cannot dispel the illusion. So the mirror magic that they did to you, everything that they spoke into your mirror, all the curses, all the hexes, all the breakup spells, all the ugly, nobody wants me kind of shit, it's coming back on them. It's not sticking to you, and they have to deal with it. They were trying to take your good fortune out of the twin flames. It was taboo, and now they are going to get everything that they spoke into your mirror to cause you a failure back on them. And everything that they've been living in and enjoying while you've been suffering, while you push that love, you make it through the pain, you push it up, you earn your reward, and this little bitch says, thanks, bitch, and she knocks you back down. She's a traitor to life. She's a traitor to this upper dimensional space. She's a nasty, nasty little bitch. World. world. So we got a 9 of swords here. So they are in trauma and despair because they devalued you. They threw you away. And somebody now loves you and you are reconciled because there is an understanding of what has been happening here. This is the world. This is the end. You are the butterfly and you're transforming everything. You're bringing this beautiful energy, this pure crystalline energy, source connected, into this realm, into the world. There is a understanding of what they've been doing to pollute everything here and who you are. You're this graceful, beautiful, crystalline heart that is pouring love, so pure, into the world. And you're activating souls. You're activating souls. So those whose souls had been shut down by these devils, you're turning their light back on. And some people are getting their lights turned off because you didn't give it to them. They took it and then they shut yours down and they wanted to replace you. So God's like, hey, buddy, that is done. That is done. That is done. Because you've cut through the confusion. Your discernment and your intuition is online. There is clarity about the truth here. You have the spiritual gift of wisdom and foresight. You have intellect, new ideas, and you are focused in the truth. You were able to cut through the confusion by wiggling your way through the disturbances and gather yourself stable enough to enter into that upper kingdom and then deliver the truth of what has been happening here. So that is really beautiful. You are supported by the world. They see the truth of who and what you are. All of the elementals, mystical cat, feline spirit energy, intuition, magic, divine being, and fortune. Warding off evil. Warding off evil. You're getting rid of it. You were able to move through it. They couldn't put you in the coffin. They could not trap you. You're no longer alone. And, you've got cleanse, charge, activate, sacred space, meditation, alignment, working with the elements. You are tapped into your magic. And you're seen as a golden one. This fake person is hiding their true character, and they're deluded. They've got some attachments. They might have been doing some full moon magic, trying to appear as you. They got these attachments. Their prayers are useless. Divine intervention, unforgiven, abomination. A freaking abomination, man. No honor among thieves, cannot be trusted. Corruption, criminals, robbery, extortion, foolish plans, fraud, scandal, and imprisonment. Ew. Yeah, and these guys are extending condolences to this curator, universal human trafficker and slaver. Twice, two different masculines came up and offered their condolences. He's being kicked out of the house. This is not his house. The earth angels merchandise, their consciousness, their soul, their spirit, their energy, this light, this abundance, all these gifts that are tied to being in this upper dimensional space that they alone are worthy of. This curator, this trafficker, this pimp, pirate, doesn't have the permission, or they did not earn the right or the privilege to be up in this space, to use these gifts, to ensnare and entrap. Their favorite weapon of war is relationship, and you're turning it down. You're like, hey, I'm done. I see my value now, and I'm not waiting around for you to come and shag me, Mr. Page of Swords, because they're done with this shady freaking shit. There's no more opportunity. She sees her value. The energy has shifted. There's soul activation happening. The Divine Mother is energizing everybody. She's pouring hope into the collective consciousness. These love spells are backfiring. They will not work. They will not trap. There are a lot of soul activations going on. Your soul has come back online. Your energy is huge and powerful, and your messaging is right on target. Source connected. They're in a nightmare. Because there's an understanding of what they've been doing here, and God has offered forgiveness, obviously. Your soul has been activated. reactivated. And everything that they put into your mirror, they are being held responsible for, because it was their projection. It was their projection. It was never the reality. All right. With that being said, this is the end of the message. I hope that it brings clarity to something you already intuitively knew, and I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.